Hey guys, I've got a 115 on the board of opponents rated 957. So this video is going to be specifically aimed at people trying to break 1,000, and I have to apologise for the background noise. 5 minutes ago I had a pile of sleeping kittens and now they've all woken up and decided to trash the place. Okay, so I'm going to play e5, I'm going to play normal stuff. We're looking for sub 1,000 mistakes, specifically. So I'm going to play this with the straight bat. I'm not going to try and do anything clever. I'm not going to play any funny gambits. Okay, we have an Italian game. Okay, I'm really tempted to play the Russo gambit because it's like all I know. Okay, we could invite the fried liver. I could maybe play a Traxler, but that is getting funky. Okay, fried liver invitation. Now d5 is the general idea. It's attacked twice, but defended twice. If I play d5, I can take with a knight. That's fine. I can also just bring out my bishop as well. I don't see anything wrong with that. If the knight comes in, I still have the d5 idea. I've got little claws attacking my feet as I speak. You cost me 15 rating points. I'm going to turn you all into a handbag. Oh my lord. Okay, anyway. So d6 makes sense here. If I attack there, it's almost certainly going to take... I don't know. h6 is also a move. I kind of like that. It not only prevents the knight coming in here, but it also prevents the bishop from coming down to g5, pinning that knight on the queen. Okay, and now I think d6 looks good. I'm preparing to bring up my own bishop with a pin of my own. Opponent's playing very solidly so far, has to be said. Now the move bishop to e6 is not a stupid idea here. I don't know. I may have to scrap this video. We'll see. We'll see. Because it's like living in a bloody zoo. Okay. Yeah. So if I put my bishop here and takes, I capture towards the centre, giving myself an extra central pawn. Okay. And also open up the f file. And now they've decided to kill each other. Okay, I'm going to drop back. I'm not giving up my bishop right now. It's doing a job. It has this pin. And this pin is an asset. This pin means that my opponent can't move that pawn. Right? It's all about little pressures. Multiple little pressure points. When you get enough of them, something has to give. Bloody hell. It's a good job they're cute though, isn't it? Hello. Say hello to the boys and girls at home. They're little bundles of fluff. And this is their mum, Morgan. Yeah, you go take them and feed them. Go on, please. Shut them up. I'll take them away. Good girl. Alright, we have rook e1. Now. Oh, I've just gone into Zen mode, that's fine. Alright, maybe Zen mode is even better, we shall see. Now, not only is this pawn still pinned, right, but now, with this move, means the king is the only defender of that pawn. So, for example, what should happen if I should put my knight in here? Okay. We have a problem, because I'm threatening to capture that pawn with my bishop, forking king and rook, for example. Okay. Now, then you have to ask, well, what can my opponent do about that? Well, he could play bishop e3, for example, and then maybe trade off bishops. But if I put my knight in there, and he plays bishop in e3, and I take, he has to take back with the pawn, because he can't take back with the rook, because then knight takes rook. Yeah? What if I come in here, he plays bishop e3, I put my other knight in there? I don't know. Knight in here, bishop to here. Doesn't seem to win, really. I don't see a specific and measurable advantage from that. So I'm thinking I'm playing this move, bishop g4, to pin this knight on the queen. And that may very likely induce a knee-jerk kick, which would make me happy with this move. This bishop, you see, is outside the pawn chain and can't retreat to break the pin. The rook could break the pin, but it's still a pin because it's being attacked by a lower value piece. So I think h3 is quite possible here, in which case I'll probably just drop back. Let's see if my opponent wants to go all in. There we go. So, I mean, this is the alternative, and that's still not a bad idea. You know, if we trade off bishops, we open up something on the king side, I might castle long, we shall see. Or there's this, still pinning the knight, and that may induce this. But then, if that, I've got to play bishop g6, and then my bishop is kind of trapped. So let's go for this idea. Opponent has not made a sub 1000 mistake yet, it has to be said. This is weakening. Also, the other thing is that, yeah, okay. So I was going to say, I like the fact that I kept my bishop on this diagonal because those ideas of like queen d7, then sack the bishop for 2 pawns, recapture with the queen, and that king is standing there very much naked. Okay, so now I have this pawn center. What that means is that later on in the game, I could, for example, push d5, and if takes, takes. You know, yes, it would leave him with 2 attackers on e5, so we would have to resolve that first. But that's the point. You can trade off one of your central pawns for one of your opponent's central pawns, and you still have a pawn majority in the center, right? That's the idea. So I might play like queen e7 long castles. I have ideas of pushing my pawns up at some point. I apologise for the bloody playground. What is this? Why do you have to fight in that corner? You lot, oi! Can you take them somewhere else for a fight, yeah? I mean, look at it. You think butter wouldn't melt in its mouth? Yeah? Can you go fight somewhere else? Now they're made of bloody Velcro. Alright, bishop d2. Because it can't go there, it can't go here, it can't go here. Could have gone there. Which is the move I just played, yeah? Well, from the other side, I retreated to there. I have no light squared bishop now. I think g5 looks sensible, but I think my next move, from a principled perspective, should be to move my queen and get ready to castle and then strike out on the king side. This pawn's still pinned, that's good. I could actually even put my knight in here for that reason, you see, because it can't be captured. But what's the advantage of that? None at all. All right then. Okay, which is the most flexible? I'm thinking queen e7. You know, keep her on this diagonal. This knight might want to move at some point. Queen here is kind of looking at nothing, so I think queen there. Bishop can't go there because it's attacked twice and defended only once. There it's attacked and undefended, and here, maybe. Maybe, it's a thought. Interesting to see that my opponent's got a knight on b3, so that gives him very good control over this dark square in particular, with both knights. The knight would normally, more naturally, be on c3, controlling the light squares. Stop it! Go away! Well, that's peculiar. The first thing I notice is if this knight moves, I've got discovered attack on that knight, which is undefended. I think that's what he's thinking. He wants to come in here and fork queen and rook, yeah? if I come in here, it's still on. He can still fork queen and rook. So, queen f7, that was a good move. That was a good move. Queen f7 looks flexible. I might get my queen on the g file then at some point. I'm still ready to castle. I can now play g5 because knight g6 isn't on. And if I play g5, this is the next thinking, right? Notice, oh, in fact, the discovery is now off. Now he's on about trading bishops off. So I need to ask, okay, if I let him trade and I recapture with the a pawn, that's not too bad. I can still castle short, you know. Nothing wrong with that. I can prevent all these ideas by sticking my knight in the middle of the board. And I kind of like that move as well. Feels like it improves my knight. Knights get stronger the closer they get to the enemy king, or the more they move up the board. They are strong in the middle 16. They are particularly strong in the middle 4. Yeah, when they're in the middle 16, as I've said many times before, they can reach their maximum of 8 squares, which gives them full potential scope. So if he wants to take it, I could take with pawn, for sure, but that kind of dulls my bishop a bit. You know, the whole point of this bishop is it's lined up with g1. If takes, I take with bishop. He may then take with knight, I take with pawn. And again, we've got this nice pawn centre, probably long castle then. Get a rook straight behind the pawn centre and try and push through. So g5 now. He just retreats. Okay. Now, that does not feel like a beginner move. This is like a counter-attack. We have tension between the knights. If I take here, he could take with A, or he could take with queen. If he takes with the queen, queen's on there, queen's attacking this pawn, my queen is the only defender. If I retreat, we could trade bishops. I think that's okay for me. What's he done with this move? Well, he's left that pawn defended only by the queen. And he's left this pawn, sorry, this knight is still defended twice. It was defended by pawn. Okay, so I think dropping back is okay. This knight's looking rather awkward. I expect it to move back to f3 at some point though, which would be just a loss of tempo for white. Bishop's defending this pawn as well, which is quite handy for white. So I need to think about still which side to castle. There's arguments both ways. Now if he trades bishops, I don't think I'll be castling long, because I'm just inviting a major piece to drop into the corner. If he trades bishops, again, then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns on 4 files, right? You see this? So now, however I push through in the center, I can capture or recapture in the center, back towards the center, giving myself a massive central majority. I'm definitely looking now at short castles, get my rook onto the semi-open f-file. And the f2 pawn, by the way, as we've noted, is defended only by His Majesty. So I'm thinking, castles, okay. Right, I'm just going to castle, there's no question about it. Connect my rooks, get 2 major pieces on that file, and I want to dislodge that bugger there. So the way we do this might be to start pushing pawns. Now, this knight is in the way of the c-pawn, so I may, for example, reroute this knight round to g6, and then just start pushing up, right? And try and just make a flying wedge through the middle of the board here. Well, this is no threat really, because I can just snatch it off with a pawn at any point. So I'm thinking that the knight maneuver is the way to go. What about this as well? I mean, that stops whatever he's thinking about here, which is fairly blunt. Knight can't go there or there. If he trades off, I can recapture with the pawn, I can recapture with my rook. I don't think the rook looks terribly clever though, there. I think it's better off with this space on the back rank. But I've got 3 attackers currently on that square, so he's not threatening anything there. Okay. Now, if I move my knight, I attack, he defends. Maybe not. Do I want to improve my queen? Let's look at what's undefended on the board. That's undefended. Do I want to trade knights? I don't really think so. Notice all the bishops have gone. It's a bishopless game. If I push right now to d5 and takes, then we've got 2 attackers on e5. We've mentioned that before. If my knight comes around here, it also defends e5. So that's what I'm going to do. And improve my knight. Might bring it to this square. What was that? Don't get it. Okay, now he's unattacked that. But also, he's gotten out of the way of f2. So now I'm thinking something like... Let's say, for example, I throw my knight there. But then we've got queen takes. Okay, not very clever. Knight here, he just grabs the knight. Queen goes there. King there. It's not enough material really to complete an attack, so I think we need some donkey power, a bit of horsepower there. Horsepower, not kitten power. I know, you're a little ninja, aren't you? 6 little ninjas. 5 gold rings. Ow! And that's my foot. How am I supposed to make an informative and educational video for the boys and girls at home if you attack my toes? Yeah? I'm meant to be improving my pieces in the middle game and I'm having my toes bitten. That's not funny. Now, so let's reassess. I like my pawns in general, right? Like we say, we've got 6 on only on 4 files here, and my opponent, I think that was a blink. I think he's blinked there, because now, for example, let's say move the knight. If he doesn't defend here, king has to go into the corner because now that would be in check, and then. There, king in the corner, I'm out of checks then. So, what do we do? This isn't on because queen is covering that square. Is on. Maybe c6 first and then that. Doesn't really matter, does it? He's down to 5.5 minutes. I'm on 4.5. So best get a move on. If he takes, I have knight takes as well. Now that is now threatening this. This knight defends that pawn there. I'm now attacking here. He could try this idea. Also now this is undefended as well. Because he moved push g2 to g3, undefended h3. So queen here could be an idea to attack that. King might come up. I think you've just missed something there, mate. Because now check. He has to go into the corner, and I've got this attacking the queen, but also threatening mate. Okay. Now I could just grab a pawn here. I think this is worse. I attack the queen. Now if he plays queen here, I don't have a good check. Having said that, I'm a pawn up right now, and his position is in somewhat of a shambles. So I come here, I'm threatening checkmate. This is a solution. So, okay, knight here, queen here, or queen here. No, he can't do that because of the rook. Okay. I can just grab a pawn then. No, I can't because he's got two attackers on this knight. My knight's there, queen here, he's got two attackers, I've only got one defender. So what else can we do? This isn't playable because of the knight. I'll just grab the pawn then. Just sometimes the simplest solution, eh? Grab the pawn. This looks okay. This is defended, but this is under attack now. And this. And that, I believe, is checkmate. Well. I mean, that was just a simple blunder at the end, you see. And it's always the quick moves. It's always the quick moves. Let's have a quick look at the game review because he played really, really jolly well. That was a good game. Can you see these buggers in the background there? That's what I have to put up with. Okay, 84-8 accuracy from me with 2 blunders. All right, but my opponent played with 67 accuracy. Now that is not sub 1000, level. I mean, yeah. Thing is that everyone sub 1000 will have 67 accuracy games. Yeah, for sure. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying he cheated. I'm saying he played really well. Okay, so look how close it was for half the game, right? Really, really close. And that's a mistake. That was inaccurate. I should have pushed up in the centre. Okay, but I'm just improving. Another mistake. Putting that knight way offside. Queen comes across. And that's a blunder. Okay. Why is it a blunder? He's saying I should have played g5 and kicked this knight back. It's a blunder because takes, which is not what happened. Okay, retreating the knight was best. So let's fast forward to my other blunder. And here he fancies black slightly. G3 is the best move here. How about that? D5 is good. Rook to A7. Okay, knight takes. That was my blunder. Okay. Said pawn takes was better. But the idea is that I was opening up an attack. Okay, let's see if my opponent had been much sharper. Then putting his knight in here. Right, if I'd have recaptured with the pawn would have been guarding e4, preventing the knight from coming in to guard that square. Now my opponent missed this move, which would have been best, right? And instead played the pawn forwards. And now it's -6, wow. Okay, so that was the best move, and this is just a blunder and checkmate. And that's how quickly things can fall apart, But yeah, I get this. You know, and also I'd have just undoubled my pawns and maintained some centre. That does make sense. Yeah. Preventing the knight from having the e4 square and giving it a stronger attack. But, you know, that's the way we went, and we got the win in the end. But, yeah, very well done to my opponent there from Chile, JM Jotar. So, good game all round. It really is hard to say, you know, what the beginner mistakes were, but one thing I would draw your attention to is, let's go back a few moves, right, to here. Look at the pawn structure, right, just looking at the pawn structure, and look at what's defended. Okay, what is undefended on my side of the board is these couple of pawns, okay, but he's got a pawn offside here. These are okay, and he's pushed another one here. Okay, so this pawn's undefended. This one's defended only by its neighbour. This one's defended only by the rook. You know, that one's defended only by the queen. It's a loose structure, right? I've got these two undefended pawns, but they're not critical right now. So that, I think, is one thing that really typifies, you know, the difference between the sub 1000 and over 1000 players is loose pawn moves. Pawn moves that don't have a particular purpose, and a few of these did surprise me. Yeah, but useful game, I think, overall. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later.